All right, welcome back. We continue the conversation. This time talking about the actual game, which was a dud for the Steelers, as they lose 21-7. Rematch coming up on December the 1st, 2 weeks from today. First of all, let's get into that. And Mark, I'll start with you on this one. Is this a one-time thing? You know, we've seen Pittsburgh and Cincinnati go at it. What do you expect the rematch to be like?
Well, I would imagine there will be some heated exchanges before the game and maybe early in the game, but it can't get to anything where it did the other day because, you know, first of all, there's going to be a lot of guys already fined that we haven't heard of quite yet. So I don't think there's going to be a huge brawl or a huge carryover to that game. Now, how this team's going to play is a different one.
Yeah, now Garrett isn't going to play, and Pouncey isn't going to play. You know, it reminds me when Burfict was suspended or hurt or whatever it was. You know, when he played, those games always were dirty. When he wasn't playing, it was like nothing ever happened between the teams. I don't expect anything to happen in the next game other than the Steelers may lose again the way they're going with these injuries.
Yeah, I mean, I would say there's almost too much at stake for them to get too caught in the extracurriculars. A lot of stuff that happened with the Bengals was either in a playoff game or in a game where it looked like they were both in solid position. There's for that outside stuff to play a factor in the game.
All right, I'm going to ask you guys right now, as it is, you look at the schedule, I think it's their best ally. They have a schedule that is doable, winnable, but as they sit here right now with the injuries that you know of and the performances we've seen, Ron, are they going to make the playoffs?
I don't think so. I don't know who's going to run the ball. Connor can't stay healthy. He's a great kid with a great story, but he gets hurt like every game. And this time it sounds like it might be more than 1 or 2 games. He missed 2 with his shoulder injury. Who's going to catch the ball? I don't know if Juju's going to play next week. I don't know if Deontay Johnson is going to play. They had to sign a running back off the street and a wide receiver off the street. You throw Tuitt in there, and, of course, Ben, I don't think they're going to make it.
I mean, you have to do the math. I mean, I think 10 definitely gets them in. 9 maybe. The problem is the biggest thing, beyond the skill position injuries, the line has not been good. The line has not been good most of the year. And I think that is, I mean, when they're throwing the ball consistently on 3rd and 1 and 3rd and 2 or 4th and 1 and 4th and 2, that to me is a sign that they don't think the line can get enough push to get 6 feet. That is the most terrible. That is their biggest. The line could be their biggest strength going forward, but now they got to do it without Pouncey. It could also be right now it's been one of their biggest weaknesses.
Excellent point.
And that is the problem. If they can't protect Rudolph, he's going to throw 4 picks and they're not going to be able to run the ball.
Well, I think the only chance they really have is their defense, how they played the previous 3 or 4 weeks, where they take the ball away, they score themselves. If that happens against Cleveland, maybe that game's a little bit different. But when you're going and trying to expect that stuff from your defense, you're already in a bad spot right there. So there's just not a lot of talent on this offense right now. And they do have a lot of AFC games. If they win, they have a shot. But this defense has to play lights out and almost carry this offense to the finish line for them to have any choice.
1 sack, no turnovers at Cleveland. That just isn't good enough. And I'm not blaming them for the loss, but the way the offense is, as Mark said, it has to be so much better.
They do. And we've heard a lot of calls around here. We go on a sports call every night, and people talk about if Mason Rudolph throws another 4-interception game, do they go to Devlin Hodges? They have Paxton Lynch, and I get the feeling that he's just here because he's here. So, Mark, what happens in that case? They just ride Rudolph all year, or do they at one point say, you know what, if you're playing bad enough, we got to do something, not unlike what a goaltender switch in hockey will do to a team?
Nah, I don't think they can do that. I think it's Mason Rudolph's job for the foreseeable future, probably to the end of the season, unless he gets hurt again. I mean, there's a reason why Duck was so successful in Los Angeles, and a lot of that was getting the ball to James Conner, who's not around, making these short throws where he was able to turn it into nice gains. I mean, he's just limited talent, limited experience, limited everything. So I don't think you can go that way. You got to give this guy, Rudolph, more of a chance here to see what you really have. It was one bad game. Up until this point, he was getting better and better and better. If he totally implodes, maybe, but I would think not.
Duck is not the answer for me. I'm sorry. I'm going to go with Rudolph here. I'm not going to give him a pass on those 4 interceptions the other night, but look at who he was throwing to. Look at who was in his backfield. Look at how bad, as Will said, the offensive line played. I'm not going to give him a total pass, but I'm going to give him a little bit of a pass. Duck is definitely not the answer for me.
Look, when they made the trade for Fitzpatrick, they said it wasn't just for this year, it was for down the road. I think it's the same with Rudolph. You got to find out what you have. If you make a switch now, there's a pretty good chance he will never be the quarterback here at any point down the line.
All right, next up, it's a Cincinnati Bengal visit, and they gave Oakland all they can handle today out west. We'll see how that goes. That's next Sunday, and you'll see it on KDKA TV. But right now, let's go round the horn for this week's Smooth Moves, brought to you by Pittsburgh's largest supplier of the smoothest granite, marble, and quartz countertops you will find anywhere, Armina Stone. So we asked these guys Smooth Move of the Week in sports. What would it be? First, you, Will.
Real quick, one, congratulations to Don Hall and the Gateway Gators on making back to the Whitfield Final, second time in 3 years. Two, congratulations to Robert Morris. I was in the arena of their new venue, UPMC Event Center, the other night. Spectacular for a team in that size of conference. Three, Andrew McCutcheon for what he's doing with his service projects. Just remarkable, a guy that has gone away and still gives back. It's an awesome story.
You're going to stop with 3? Why not 4 and 5?
it's a
How many
30-minute
are you going to
show,
do here?
Plus, he said real quick.
Hey, church today was about
How
being
many are you
thankful.
going to
I'm
do?
being
3?
thankful.
I'm going to go national in the division and go with Lamar Jackson. Man, has he proven me wrong. A, I didn't think he would last long the way he runs the ball. B, I didn't think he was a good enough quarterback. Totally outplayed Deshaun Watson today. I think Baltimore is the team to beat in the AFC. I get it, what New England is. Lamar Jackson, for me, is the MVP of the league after 10 games.
Well, I'm going to say Bill Chirpak and the Thomas Jefferson Jaguars. Bill Chirpak won his 8th WPIAL championship game. Unfortunately, it came against my alma mater, the Bell Vernon Area Leopards. However, Chirp's won more Whitfield titles than anybody else, tied with Bob Palco, and that's a pretty smooth move there.
And that's why you'd say that, because you're wearing shorts just like he wore shorts all the time. So I understand what you're doing there. Armina Stone is Pittsburgh's largest supplier of the smoothest granite, marble, and quartz countertops you're going to find anywhere. Check out Armina Stone. When we come back, Pirates have a new GM. He'll be introduced tomorrow. What should be his first order of business? That's next.